Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm checking my volumes because Mr. B told me that it drives him crazy when I talk about checking the volumes at the beginning of the video. This one's for you. I'm checking the volumes, Mr. B. I always forget to do it before I start my video, so it is what it is. Look what we have here. We have what I see as a big breakout for XRP, but for thumbnail purposes, maybe we should call it a massive breakout. We're at 61 cents. We're up 8.59%. Check that out. You won't see this on CNBC today because Bitcoin is not, the action is not with Bitcoin. It's up 8% with XRP. So they can't talk about their precious Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's certainly not Ethereum. Now, let me make a pretty killer point right here. Here's BNB, that's the Binance token. Here's Tether. Here's Ethereum. We know all about e-HKD and all the shadiness around there. Here's Bitcoin. We know all about Satoshi, the 4 Satoshis. Now Homeland Security met with them, but the government lies and pretends that they don't know who the 4 Satoshis are. So in other words, my point is that these 4 all have these terrible skeletons. In the case of BNB, well, Tether's kind of speaks for itself. In the case of BNB, the point I'm making is this. Check this out. Now, we told you, Mr. Huber did, I did, we told you a long time ago that Cynthia Loomis, she had her own favorites, but in this case, her favorites are Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Regulatory framework by utilizing what's in place now. Most cryptocurrencies are commodities, which would put them within the jurisdiction of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission for trading, spot markets, and futures markets.
So you would agree with Chairman Gensler that most of them probably are securities, and I take it your legislation isn't meant to change that.
No, it's just that people didn't read it properly. We just said that there are commodities, and Bitcoin is one of them, and Ether and a few others probably are as well, but that there's a test. It's called the Howey test. It's worked, and we updated it to actually work in the framework of digital assets. And if there's 15,000 cryptocurrencies, that means 14,900 and something are securities. So that's a lot of work for the SEC to do.
Most cryptocurrencies are commodities.
No, it's just that people didn't read it properly. We just said that there are commodities, and Bitcoin is one of them, and Ether and a few others probably are as well, but that there's a test.
All right. So now everybody's figuring out that she and her buddy are bad guys. Gillibrand.
We thought that she
Loomis
was, championing the future of blockchain and innovation, and that, of course, is Cynthia Loomis and her betrayal to the blockchain industry. Listen in.
Senator Warner, this is an area where crypto is being used to finance terrorism. Let's get after Binance and Tether. These are offshore companies that are financing illicit activities and terrorism. That's why today I sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland asking the Department of Justice to wrap up its investigation and consider criminal charges against Binance and Tether for their involvement in illicit finance.
These are the things that irk me the most, is people that seem to have themselves educated on the situation and at the same time either, one, get influenced by others, most likely someone that's in their back pocket, in funding these kinds of statements, into the essence of really where all of this is core from, and that is fiat. It's coming through these bank systems, through these shell corporations, through these actors that we already know about. They haven't been able to stop it yet, and they think that this micron, this small micron of blockchain activity, remember, this is a $1 trillion market, they think this is going to make a difference, and she's over there spouting. Now, I'm not a big fan of either of these in either way, but the point that she's flipping on us like this is what really upsets me.
All right, so now let's look back at it. So if the government's going to go after Tether, they're going to go after Binance. Ethereum should have been gone after a long time ago. We know that. We know all of the disguised whales, the shadiness there. Bitcoin, the lie that they don't know who Satoshi is. So the way I see it is all four that are in front of the one, which is XRP, the only one that's been completely transparent. All four have all kinds of problems in their closets. But this one's the only one with legal clarity. Maybe that's why we're going up 8% so far today. Okay, check this out. Elon says shadow ban concerns should be fully transparent by the end of the year. Look at Elon. That has already begun and should be fully transparent by the end of the year. There are so many hidden layers to the system, some of which we're still discovering. Most of the reduction is suboptimal code rather than malice. Well, Elon, you can't say that people haven't told you that I've been banned for nothing. I have been suspended for nothing. But this right here, it continues on for nothing. I've never been given a warning, never been told you can't do this, you can do this, never nothing. I think it's a mistake. I think I'm in a queue with a few million other accounts, and I'm about ready to hire an attorney and have a legal letter sent to try to get myself to the top of the stack, because this is shameful. I mean, you would think that if I was running a company like X, you would think that they would say, "Oh, okay, the accounts that our computers are doing some auto suspension on, if they're over a certain amount of followers and they've spent 5 years on the platform and have a certain amount of followers, maybe the computers should automatically put those under the ones that get reviewed first." I haven't even heard a response on the appeal. I've appealed 6 or 7 times to this thing. Never even heard a response on the appeal. That's why I think this is an auto thing. Or you just got some really, really bad guys that are trying to pretend like they're good guys at X. It's one or the other. It's not anywhere in the middle. eGrag Crypto has my back. We still need your help to free our big brother digital asset investor, free DAI. I demand you help digital asset investor get his X account back. He was wrongfully suspended. Of course I was. Anything to the contrary, like that they had some legitimate reason, is a freaking lie, and probably an intentional one. Hi all, momentum is still with XRP. The expected pattern versus the actual price action is close to each other. I expect to hit the target by the latest Friday. Have a great day. And he's got a free DAI on here too. Tomorrow's the 15th anniversary of the day Satoshi Nakamoto published the Bitcoin white paper, Monetary History. Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Well, if I thought for a minute that Gary had any kind of conscience whatsoever, or I thought that he might that things in life that might have any kind of meaning to him, if I thought that about Gary Gensler, then I might think that hey, maybe they'll do the ETF on the 15th anniversary. But as we know, Gary is a sociopath, and so these kind of things don't have any meaning to people like that. These are just the equivalent of robots sent by bad guys to do their bidding. Now, Mr. Huber's asking a great question. Just in, spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved this year. Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital, and Mr. Huber's asking a very basic question. I'm not going to play the video because I think he's got some music in there too. But how's Novogratz still able to share SEC insider information and trade on it? How do you do it, Mike? Now, speaking of trying to make lies the way that the things we believe, which is what they're trying to do, with the help of their media friends, they are now trying to revamp. This is the real Sam Bankman-Fried, but this is the guy that they're drawing in court since cameras can't get in the courtroom. Are you freaking kidding me? They're trying to make the guy look like a movie star. I mean, if this guy was propped up by the government from day freaking one, because they're involved, folks. I said it. Ripple advertisement at the English Premier League football match. In fact, I'm watching that. I'm watching the Netflix thing on David Beckham that came out. I'm not a soccer guy, football. I'm sorry, but it is. I do love looking at the stories of people who have been successful in their field, and that it's an interesting one. Check this out. Missouri followed the landmark verdict confirming that XRP is not a security. XRP ended Q3 market cap almost 60% year to date. XRPL's DEX volume also increased nearly 400%. XRP Ledger aims to end the year strong with new developments, including hooks and AMM clawback amendments. Then we had this new hypothetical e-HKD pilot program for hashtag HKMA demonstrates how to streamline access to excess property equity. Learn more about exploring home equity lending and settlement with, looks like Ripple and Fubon Bank. Is that what that is? Now, this is Stan Druckenmiller. Now, Stan is doing a very smart, very good analysis of what doesn't make any sense about Janet Yellen and what our government has done. But Stan's coming from the wrong angle. He needs to first accept that these people are 100% corrupt and they're doing it intentionally, and then he needs to redo the video.
During that period, the good news is U.S. households refinanced and termed out a lot of their debt. Amazingly, mortgage duration doubled during that period. So when rates were practically zero, every Tom, Dick, and Harry and Mary in the United States refinanced their mortgage. They extended, corporations extended. Unfortunately, we had one entity that did not, and that was the U.S. Treasury. And Janet Yellen, I guess because political myopia, whatever, was issuing 2 years at 15 basis points when she could have issued 10 years at 70 basis points or 30 years at 180 basis points. I literally think if you go back to Alexander Hamilton, it was the biggest blunder in the history of the Treasury, and I have no idea why she has not been called out on this. She has no right to still be in that job. After that, every caddy I knew, every locker room person, everybody in America was refinancing their mortgages. Every corporation was extending their debt. Anyway, I'm rambling. Am I spitting yet for the front row?
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew Janet Yellen would get it.
Here's the consequences, folks. When the debt rolls over, by 2033, interest expense is going to be 4.5% of GDP if rates are where they are now. By 2043, sounds a long time, but it's really not, 20 years, interest expense as a percentage of GDP will be 7%. That is 144% of all current discretionary spending. Let me repeat that. Interest expense alone will be 144% at today's rate of all discretionary spending. So the politicians that are telling you and think they're not going to cut entitlements, it's just an outright lie. The numbers absolutely don't work. It's a
All right, and then I wanted to show you this right here because this Finance a Lot guys got it. 1, credit downgrade so nations dump U.S. securities. 2, rapidly raise rates. 3, restrict swap lines causing dollar shortage. 4, stage incident. 5, dollar skyrockets. 6, panic spreads to financial systems. 7, nations collapse. 7, print trillions and buy your cheap debt. 8, great reset. ICE 9 maybe? Okay, I'm going off to DAIXRP.com, the private group, and I'm going to whisper this because this is like about as danger zone gets. In fact, I think I'm going to play the danger zone music today because of how dangerous it really is. And I'm going to whisper now because I don't want too many people to hear it. But today we're going to talk about dossiers. That's DOSSIER, We have the most corrupt government in the history of the world, and we're going to talk about that in the group. Go to DAIXRP.com if you want to join the group, and be sure that you're not too loud when you're signing up. We'll see you in the group. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell your friends and family to go to DAIXRP.com. We're going to be dropping a Zoom, proper online Zoom party link in the group here this week at some point. Thanks for listening.